Hello and welcome to Blended Learning for the Related Arts and Enrichment Edition. When I was creating all of my virtual learning and um, PD opportunities for this summer, I knew that I wanted to do something very special for all of you who teach art or PE or music or band or engineering or any of the other related arts, because sometimes I know that the PDs that we do it's kind of a stretch. Like, it's not that you could not use those in your class, but you have to stretch it. And I wanted to make sure that I created something specifically for you all that you could use and adapt just in your classrooms. At the time of sign up for the virtual PD, I had art teachers, music and band teachers, and PE teachers. So a lot of what you see here is going to be geared directly to those contents. If you start watching this and at the end, whenever you get to the product, you cannot think of how you can use this in maybe your Spanish classroom or whatever, or if none of the situations really pertain to you, let me know and I'll be happy to help you find ways to blend learning within your specific environment. So, this is blended learning, and we're going to be focusing on our new normal. I know that you all are just as excited as I am to get back to normal, back to having kids in our classroom, preferably without masks, so we can see their beautiful smiles. And so we don't have to wear a mask all day, but we want to not forget all of the hard work that you put forth within the last year and a half, 2 years, to learn all of the new instructional technologies, and how can you bring those and implement them into your related arts in a traditional classroom setting. Hopefully you feel as empowered about blended learning as I do, and you can help, or this opportunity will give you ways that you can use this within your environments. Before we get started, I do want to go over our learning target because we have some big goals for this year. This is going to be our comeback year, and we are so excited. So, our learning target is I can create a blended learning experience to spark curiosity, drive engagement, and foster collaboration. You all are in a specific situation to where this is normal for you, like not COVID, of course. I'm not talking about that, but curiosity and creativity is where, like, that's what your class thrives on, being enrichment and related art teachers. So I'm excited to see what you all can create. At the end of this, you've heard me refer already to a product. At the end, our end goal will be for you as a participant to create a blended learning lesson that you can use with your students in the 21-22 school year. So we need to talk about what blended learning is. If it's a huge chunk of our learning target and our expectations for this course, then let's explore. What is it? So basically, in just a few words, blended learning is when lessons utilize face-to-face teaching and online resources to establish a strong connection between the students and their learning. The reason why this is so important is because when you blend learning, you're going to be focusing on the why. Now, if you've never read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, I highly recommend it. It's a book that I read often, and every time I read it, I come away with something that I forgot or didn't know before. But when we start with why, it helps the students have a connection to what they're learning. It makes the learning be more valuable to them and helps them understand why we're doing this and how we can apply this to real world situations. Then, after the students know the why, that's how they adjust to the how. How will I learn this? How will I use this? And then finally, we have the what. The what is important. Although it's the last in that circle, it's the big idea. What are we taking away? What are we learning? What's our objectives? So hopefully you find this experience to be so beneficial to you. And lastly, we're going to close this first video with why blended learning. Blended learning, I fully believe, can create more time for you as teachers to work with your students one-on-one or in small groups. This is vital because it helps you to establish support for those students who need additional supports within your classroom, while also giving you a chance to collaborate with those students that need enrichments inside of your classroom to be pushed further and given those additional opportunities to learn. I hope that you're as excited as I am. So yeah, our next video is going to start diving into the content.